To the no, no, no. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ready Set Pop. My name is Mariel Basori, and I'm greeting you from Mexico City. With here my two beautiful co-hosts with me, all the way from Colombia, Mr. Mauricio Sierra, and all the way from Brazil, Mr. Luquitas Abachi. Hello, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Mariel. Hello, Mauricio. Hello,
How are
friends.
you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Happy to see you. Happy to see you
Awesome.
and to begin a new episode today.
Yes, same. The same.
It's It's gonna be fun. Today's topic was chosen by Luquitas. Yes? Yes.
Yeah, it was me.
So, Luquitas, can you please give us an introduction to today's episode?
Yeah, of course. Well, last season, I think, or in the past seasons, we had a similar episode like this that we celebrate songs of 20 years ago. That in that case was 2004. So I decided to go in the same way to celebrate 2005 because we still love the 2000s. And it's crazy because I remember in 2005, I wasn't happy with the music. For me, it was like, I don't like that much this music now. I prefer the 90s or I don't know, 2003. But now is insane the amount of songs that I love from 2005 or songs that I discovered in 2005 because I always mention here, but I got my computer with good internet in December of 2004 in my birthday. So 2005 was pretty much the first year that I could uh, keep my eyes on the charts around the world and download everything that I missed from the past years. So it was a year that every single day I was discovering thousands and thousands and thousands of songs. And now I can see how special that year was for me. So it's going to be great to celebrate with you guys.
Great.
Okay, lovely. Yes. It's going to be a great episode. Each of us is going to talk about three songs. We're going to discuss these songs that were important for each of us in that year, or maybe later. Doesn't matter if we listen to them that year or later.
Hmm.
The point is that they are important to us. So, since this is your topic, Luquitas, please begin, darling.
Okay, well, first, buenas noches, Adrian. Benvenido otra vez. Acá. Hello, friend. Well, let me think. I think
Hello.
I'm gonna start with the most obvious thing that is a song called Superstar by Sky Sweetnam. Uh, Sky is a pop rock girl, and she came from that wave of pop rock girls after Avril Lavigne. Actually, she's also from Canada, and she released the album 2004. I think that is this one, Noise from the Basement. This is the Brazilian version. And in 2005, the song Superstar leaked or was released as a digital single or something. And I was very excited in that moment because sounded exactly how I like it in that moment. In that moment, I was listening too much to Marion Raven, Fifi Dobson, Liz Fair, Katie Rose, all those girls. So the sound of Superstar for me was like, oh my God, I'm such a rocker, you know? Now you can
Yeah.
see how pop that was. But in that moment, the 15-year-old me was feeling super rock listening to that song. And it's funny because that song turned out to be such a mess in her discography. Because in that moment, I thought that was supposed to be the first single from the second album. I don't know if there was a moment that actually was true. But they released the single with the cover of the Japanese special edition. This is the first cover of the Japanese edition that is uh, pretty much similar to this one, the track list, but they included a song called Imaginary Superstar on this one. That is a
Okay.
whole other song. It's not Superstar, it's other song. So they decided to make a new special edition from Japan, including Superstar. But when the album came out, they included Imaginary Superstar again, and not Superstar. So that is a mess. You can find the single on streaming now on Spotify as Imaginary Superstar, and it's totally wrong. It's another song. So it's such a
Okay.
mess.
Mhm.
Turned out the song just was released in a special edition in China, but it's still one of my favorite songs by Sky Sweet Nun. And I think that embrace that 2005 moment of mine with those girls. Since I already talked about the other girls here before, I decided to go with Sky because I really like her as well. So I want to start this one. I want to hear your opinions about the songs, starting with Marielle.
Okay, thank you, Luquitas. I didn't know this song. I know Sky, obviously, but I didn't know about this song. So for me, it was an interesting and gladly and nice surprise. You know, I like the song. I like the message behind it of how she was feeling before meeting this person that she calls the
Mm-hmm.
superstar.
Yeah.
So it has a nice message. It has a nice vibe. I like this pop rocky thing of her. She's actually one of the best pop rock singers for me. So
Mm-hmm.
I like the song. It was a really nice surprise. Uh, what else can I say? Just good. I liked it. I had no idea this song existed.
Oh, so that was a good choice. I'm glad you like it and you
Yes.
discover another one by Sky. Yes. What
Yes.
about you, Mao?
Well, friend, for me was a new song actually. I didn't know about this girl, not in the past, not till we start with this project. I knew about this girl because of you. So I knew about her style, like very pop rock, this kind of thing. For me, was like as you mentioned the other episode, like okay, I tried to listen to the Daniquas Chamikas, like for
Yeah, yeah,
me
yeah.
it was similar, but in the pop world. So Sky, Stephanie, all these girls, Marion,
All the
Fifi,
whites.
all yes, yes.
Yes.
For me, all the girls are very similar. I found very funny her attitude during the video. Very like, oh, I'm the girl, like
Yeah.
all
Super rock
all this
star. Yes.
very yes, and with the glasses and like this was very 2000s. For me, was like a nostalgic in a way. Because this is how I remember this time of my life. Like the queen was Avril Lavigne, the most like famous in that moment, and the other girls were around. So even when I didn't know about her, it was like okay, this is something that it was easy to find in that moment in the channel, yeah, in NTV or in the channel that I used to see in that moment. So for me, it was like okay, it's very 2000. Her attitude is very I'm the rock star, like so it was funny. I'm not going to say I like it because maybe not,
Hmm.
but it was like nostalgic. I with this episode I really connect with what I was listening in that moment and how I was feeling in that moment. So it
Yeah.
was very good to see your options and to remember, oh, this song was also important for me, or no, or I didn't know about the song, but I can understand the vibe. So in this case, I can understand the vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, friend. Who's
Yeah,
next?
I'll go.
Okay.
go.
Okay, so my first option for this episode is all the way from the UK, a girl group that I love. I personally love them, and it's the Sugar Babes with "Push the Bottom." I think this song kind of changed the pop world again in the UK with their vibe, with their style, this fresh and naughty lyrics about I've been waiting for you to come and push my buttons, but in a good way, like to finally move on in this relationship. This is what this song is about, that this guy is being a gentleman, but the girl is like, I've been waiting patiently for you to come and get it. Na, 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 na. So it's more like inviting him to be more um, daring.
Mhm.
That's the word. That's the
Yeah.
word. So for me, it's a very fun song. It's fresh, it's danceable, it's catchy. I think it changed a little bit of what we heard of the Sugar Babes before. So this was like
Mhm.
a new wave from them, more bubblegum in a way, um, from different from their previous albums. So I want to know your thoughts. This time, starting with Mao.
Okay, a lot of things to say about the song. I didn't know the song, and I was watching the video and all the dynamic in the elevator and everything. I was like, this song is very sexual.
Yes,
It's
it is.
very sexual. Yeah, but in a funny way, as you said, like it's funny to have this kind of song in pop music. Like very naughty and very sexual, but in a good way. So, it was funny. It was funny. I never click with them. I tried, and I think I want to try again with them. Like because I never had the opportunity to listen to all the catalog by them, but I want
Mhm.
to try because I am sure that there is something that I'm going to like by them. I
Mhm.
only remember from this time, Angels with Dirty Faces was the song that was released here, and I remember watching the video all the time with Power Pop Girls, right? Las chicas
Yes,
superpoderosas.
it
Yes.
is.
Yeah, yeah, with the Powerpuff Girls. So I remember that video, and with this video, it was like, okay, it's very funny, it's very sexual, and there is something that caught my attention. It was very 2000. Like I think it's a little racist in a way because the black girl is with the black guy, and the white girls are with the white guys. So. For me, it was like, oh, that this is very 2000s, like something that it was good in that moment, something that it was very normal in that moment, but right now it's like, come on, if you are a black girl, it doesn't mean that you have to be with a black guy. So I was thinking about it, and it was very common in the 2000s. Thank God the time changed. But yeah, I found the song funny, Mi Marilan, and right now I want to explore more about this group.
Great. I'm glad, Mimo, because I'm sure that I was sure that you are not so into their music, so I was very curious to know your thoughts. And now moving on to Lucky Lulu.
First, I want to say that it's crazy how those things were so normal in our minds back then, friend. Because I remember when I
Yeah.
was 10 and the Spice Girls released Holler, there
Yeah,
was that part where the girls are checking the guys dancing. And I remember seeing Victoria attracted for the black guy in the video. And that didn't, was not something that was not how can I explain? Was something that got my attention. Was
yeah,
not
Yeah.
like something that I saw and was like, okay, Victoria likes the black guy and
Yeah.
nothing happens in my
Hmm.
brain. No, I was like perceiving that. Like it was
yes,
kind
like
of weird to see in
this
that way,
guy,
you know?
this guy is for Mel B, not for Victoria.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So that was in our minds. It's crazy. Now we can watch and no one thinks that watching. But the
No one
little me,
cares.
no
yeah,
one
Yeah.
cares.
10-year-old guy in the 2000s, I remember thinking that. But anyway, about the song, I agree with Marielle when she said that it's kind of game changing for the Sugar Babes because they went through a lot of changes with the sound and the the girls in the group during the years. And for me, pretty much from the beginning, they were more alternative in a way when you compare to the other
Hmm.
girls. There was a lot of R&B roots in the songs and everything. And at this moment in another songs from the future, like Easy and About You Now are way more pop.
Hmm.
That song, I like Mao. I never clicked with those girls. Like I only like two songs that are Round
Hmm.
and Round and Easy are the
Okay.
ones that I like. So the song for me, I never like it, but I know it, and I feel like is a good expression of that moment in UK. For example, that video is on MTV 2000s, the music channel that we
Mm-hmm.
have now, all the
Mm-hmm.
time. And the music video for me is really fun. Like I like the colors, I like the whole dynamic. It's very pop. It's like a video
Mm-hmm.
that, for example, in US, no one was doing anymore in 2005. Everything in 2005 in US were more urban or rock,
Mm-hmm.
pop rock, and the UK stick with that pop thing that I didn't appreciate back then, but now I can see how important that was for pop music. So it's something I don't like, but I can appreciate. I think that is
Okay.
my thought on it.
Okay, okay. Thank you, boys. Yes, it's a fun song. I mean, the video is definitely screaming 2000s
Yeah,
In
um,
all, yeah.
in all ways. So,
no ways, no ways.
yeah, but it's a cool and fun song. Now, moving on to Mao, your turn.
Well, friends, I want to start sharing some of my experience because, as I told you, I felt with this episode very connected again with 2005.
Yeah.
And I want actually, I was about to ask you like your experience. How do you remember this year? Because
Mm,
I remember in 2004, I changed the school. You know, I was like I was in a school like to sixth grade and seventh grade, and then in eighth grade I changed the school. And in this school was when the bullying started. You know, so in 2004 I was very bullied, and it was like the worst year in my life. And then in 2005 everything changed. You know, and I
mhm,
remember 2005 very good because my friends Alvaro and Gustavo, for example, started being my friends in this year. I remember going to Alvaro's house and watching these videos and this music. So there are a lot of good memories from that year. So and in this year I started loving R&B music so much. You know, so there are actually two songs that are included in this episode that were important in this year in music. So yes, I wanted to I wanted to share this, and I remember this song that is "Lonely No More" by Rob Thomas. One of these
Yeah.
songs that I was crazy about it, you know. So I remember going to my friend Alvaro's house and watching this video over and over again, and the two of us liked so much this song and the video. And I didn't know about so much about Rob Thomas. Of course, I knew he was in Matchbox 20, and he was like in this song with Santana Smooth that I really love, and my
yeah.
friend loved it too. So I remember like, oh, this guy is so hot. Like in this moment, I was repressing a lot, you know, because I wanted to say, oh, this guy is so hot for me, you know, but it was impossible to share it with anybody. So, and the video for me was like, oh, it's great, like the dynamic in the video, like everything falling down and he's dancing, you know. This guy is very rock, and in this album, you're not going to find more songs like this. Like the other songs are very rock. This song is very different. You know, this song is very pop, even with R&B in a way. It's crazy. I really love this song, and I remember in this year was my first time visiting a, a CD store. You know, it was Tower Records.
Ah.
So I remember going, yes, with actually I remember going with Alvaro and Gustavo, my friends, and watching and seeing this CD in the store. You know, this CD is called Something to Be, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and I remember seeing a lot of albums in that moment, a lot of CDs, J-Lo, even Stacey Rico, of course, JoJo. I remember
Mhm.
this, and I was like crazy, like it was for me like a candy shop, you know. So I remember this year very funny and very with a lot of nostalgia. So yes, this song was for this episode. I was trying to have like real songs that I really feel very connected in 2005. You know, so this song was one of them. So I want to know your opinion. It started with Mi Mariel. What do you think
Okay.
about it? No, you are not so into guys singers. You know.
I'm into guys.
Yeah,
Okay, yes, I like boys. Trust me, I do.
I know.
but not so
Singers,
much into male
male
singer.
singers. Yeah, it sounded so funny, but you know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, knew who he is because of the Santana song, and that he was part of Matchbox 20, like you mentioned. But I never paid much attention to his solo music because, like you just mentioned, I'm not into male singers. So this song, I do remember listening to it sometime, but I always thought, and today that I played it, it was like I always thought that this song was by Ricky Martin. So
Yeah, he has the vibe. You're right. Yes.
it
Yeah,
has a vibe. It has, like the sound of Ricky's voice. So I always thought it was his, but now, yeah, surprise, surprise, it's this guy. But I, I wasn't crazy about it, but I now understand by telling your story, Mao, that Lonely No More, you didn't want to feel that way. So I know you connected with that, because for me
Yeah.
the song is like, okay, it's about not wanting to be lonely again, please don't play with my heart and stuff like that. But now that you mentioned your story, it brings a different meaning.
yeah,
Okay,
absolutely. Yeah.
so for me it's a regular song, it's a regular pop rock song, but with a special meaning for my friend Mao now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. And the
I
video,
like that interpretation. Thank you.
yes, and that 2000, that video is so 2000s too, because I'm sorry, it has all the graphics, like all these scenarios changing and stuff like that. I liked it. He looks handsome, that's for sure. I do like the boy. The boy. So
Exactly.
I did like him. I like him personally, but the song I wasn't so crazy about it. But now I understand why it is important to you, Mimo.
Oh, thank you, Mario. I like it so much, that interpretation. Thank you so much. I never thought something like that. Now that you mention it, it makes sense for me too. So yeah,
Yes, love you, Mimo.
love it. What about
Okay,
you,
okay.
friend?
Lucky Lulu.
Well, I'm glad you chose that song because I was this close to choose as well because I really like that song. And I think what makes me love that song so much back then was exactly the fact that he was in the rock lane. I was very into Matchbox 20, of course. And when he released that, that sounded so pop to me and so different than what the guys were doing because all the pop guys were doing something very similar to Matchbox 20. If you're thinking about
Mhm.
like Ryan Cabrera, everyone was kind of pop rock in that moment, and he went in a totally different direction with that song. And I can totally understand when Mariel mentions Ricky Martin because for me there's some Latin flavor in that song
Yep.
as well. So it's a
No.
great mix, a great production, a great song. What for me was kind of sad when I heard the rest of the album because, as Mao said, the song doesn't match the
No, with the album.
other tracks. Actually, now thinking I want to try to find out more because maybe it was something like less time uh, with the record label. You know, when the artists have an amazing album, but the record label think that maybe there's no hit on that, there's no single to release, and maybe
Hmm.
that was the reason why they included a song so different. Maybe it was the last time the album. I don't know. I want to check that now, but it's a song that I love, and it's very 2005 for sure. I love the video. I think we mentioned before. I love the way he dances, like shaking. You know, there's a part that he's doing like this. Is very
Yes,
sexy. Yes, it's very
Alexis
sexy.
mentioned like when he shakes his hips in the video. Yes.
Adrian is talking about it. Yeah.
Oh yes, friend. Is it this moment when he shakes his hips? I was thinking, okay, I get it. And also for me was important because I was 15 and I was trying to discover the type of music I wanna make, because I knew I wanted to be a singer as well. So when I saw him singing a song like that, the pop stuff was like an option for me because it was so different, you know. So yeah,
Hmm.
I love that song. Great choice.
Absolutely.
I did it. I'm not doing it again, friend. You gotta rewatch later.
Yeah.
Adrian, please behave. Okay, Lucky, it's your turn.
Okay, so now as my requests, I want to start telling a little bit of mine. 2005 actually was
Please.
the year that I changed the school, because here I was in the same school from the first grade until the eighth grade. So I spent 7 years in the same school with the same people. Everything was the same.
Hmm.
But here is very common when you go to high school, you're going to study at night, because a
Mm,
lot of people start working at age 15 or 16,
Okay.
wow.
and so they we could work during the day and study during the night. Was not my case. I was not working, but um it was like you didn't have much of choice of what school are you going if you're not paying for the school, you know. So I even had the luck to go to the same school of some of my closest friends, like Flavio, for example, that Mal knew when he was here, and another
Hmm.
friends. So the change was not that heavy because of that, but was difficult for me because the school was very different. I grew up in the other school. I missed my school. I missed the whole environment, and the school was more real in a way. You know, I think the school that I was before was kind of a bubble, like,
Okay.
you know,
Hmm.
very protected, everything like very beautiful and cute, let's say. And studying at night in a different school was a lot of realness around. Like, it was the first time that I was facing people with drugs, or people that were already drinking alcohol, uh, and things like this. So it was kind of a shock for me at first. So what happened in that year, I think I got more rebel. I was thinking like, in the way that I'm gonna survive this is showing myself more strong. So that is the moment that the rock thing started more in my life, like in the
Hmm.
clothes, in the attitude, the songs I was listening, like wearing All Star all the time with the sneakers, and trying to put myself in that position, uh, to protect myself. So later was fine. Like 2006, everything changes. I've made friends and everything, but every changes is different, especially when you are a teenager.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk now about the Click Five. That is this band here. That was part of that moment. That was very important to me because I start connecting with my emo side. Because 2005 was that moment when the emo thing started, and here in Brazil, that was insane. You know, we had a huge wave of rock bands in Brazil that came from that emo thing, that
Hmm.
is still very relevant now. That is Fresno for Fun, NX0, bands that I love it and that I still love now. And that happens to me to discover bands in the US that had that sound, like NXPX, um, Reliant K, bands that are actually CCM, that
Yeah.
for some reason are very similar to that sound that I like. And the Click Five was one of those bands, but again, very pop. If you pay attention now, if you watch the music video, it's pretty much a Disney Channel thing. But in that moment, for me, was like, wow, it's rock. I want to have that hair. Actually, I did in a moment. So, and I think I had a crush in the vocalist, and in secret, you know, because when they changed the vocalist, I gave up the band.
Okay.
I didn't like anymore. But I chose Just the Girl. That was the first single. That is very catchy, very pop in a way, even when it's pop rock. And I think, just to finish, I think we had in 2005 a wave of things that were preparing us to things that came later and was really successful. Like, for example, the Click Five was, but we had Jonas Brothers later. You know, Ellie
Mm,
and AJ were like huge in a way in the 2000s, but later we had Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, Selena coming from Disney and going really big in the charts and in the selling of tours and everything. So I think 2005 was a moment preparing us for a lot of stuff that we had later in pop music. So that's it.
Mhm.
I want to start this one with my friend Mauricio Sierra.
Well,
Andres
friend,
Mauricio.
Yeah.
as you said, friend is very 2000s, like, and it's very Disney Channel with this kind of video filming on the top of the building. Everything is like this. For me, was like again very nostalgic. I can see that they were trying to portray this band like the Beatles or something like that because of the
Uh
cover.
huh.
The cover is
Yeah. Yeah.
very the
Uh-huh.
Beatles, and even the hair and everything you mentioned. So it is very Jonas Brothers, as you said. So yes, this is the kind of song that in that moment I was like watching and say like, okay, like I like it. In Baby, if I was listening that song in that moment, I was like, okay, it's good, like Hilary Duff or stuff like that because it's
Mm-hmm.
very Disney. Yes, something that caught my attention about the video, it was that, like, oh, okay, the top of the building, they were like singing in this place, and it was like very nostalgic.
Teenagers
So
screaming. Yes.
yeah, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, it was like that, and the similarity between the Beatles in the cover. So it was like, oh, okay, I got the reference. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to bring this as I did with the girl to be like a symbol of all the bands that I like in that moment. That was so many. I
Okay.
want to know
Yeah.
about Marielle. If you ever heard about the Click Five.
I didn't. This was a new introduction for
Okay.
me. Like I had no idea of this group because, like Mao mentioned, I don't like boys. So
All
I'm
the
not so
things
much
he
into
said. Yes.
all the things he said. Yeah, today is all Mao's fault. Um, no, I'm not so much into boy bands either. So I didn't know this one. But as I was watching the video, I was thinking of Hilary Duff, so why not?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a little bit of 18's Dancing Queen,
Oh,
like when
uh-huh.
everybody's leaving the classroom.
Leaving the school.
So,
Yes.
so yeah, it's fun. It's a fun song. I didn't actually connect too much with it because I didn't know the group, but it wasn't that bad. So for me, so
Yeah.
it was an interesting choice. I might have to look up for more of their music, but this one was a cool song. I liked it, but it sounded like 2005. Their looks, Mao is right. They were definitely trying to,
Yeah.
resemble
The Beatles thing.
the Beatles. Yeah, but it was an interesting choice, Yuki. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And as Adrian said, they had a song in Hannah Montana soundtrack. Yes, Pop
Mm,
Mm.
Princess.
okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, moving on with me. This one goes to another girl group, this time from the US. A girl group
Mi
that
Mari,
also came to change.
sorry. Sorry to interrupt, but can you share something that you remember from the year? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh yes, of course. 2005. I was 16. I
Oh.
was going through a lot of changes, physically and emotionally, because you barely understand who you are at that age. So, um, 16. That's when I had my nose surgery. So I was feeling like, you know, I have a new nose. Come on. I felt very important with my new nose. And
Okay.
I was not bullied anymore. I was actually on the other side now, like not letting myself be bullied by anybody.
Okay.
So
Oh, great.
so that was interesting to see that change in me, like not seeing the vulnerable Mariel, but a more empowering and more confident person. So that was very cool. That was very cool for me to be in that position at that age. So I felt very secure then with myself back
Okay.
then. So that's when I was starting to hang out with boys, um, having my first crushes here and there, and not being sure what I wanted. But it was a good year. It was a very good year. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Um, it
Great.
was it was a great year.
I think it was a change for the three of us this year. Like
Yes,
changes, yeah.
for sure,
Yeah, it was. And
for
crazy
sure.
how nostalgia works because feels like I'm smelling right now some kind of perfume that was
From
around in that year. You know, I can't explain, but
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's crazy. Yes.
Okay, so as I was telling you guys, this second song of my list is from a U.S. girl group that came to change the rules too, with this song that went viral everywhere, and I'm talking about the Pussycat Dolls and their song "Doncha." This song was completely different to what we heard before from other girl groups. It was very daring once again, very sexy, very, don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Like, get that boring girlfriend out of your side, of my side, and come with me that I'm more crazy and more sassy. So for me, it's like always a fun song. The explicit one is even more good. I like it,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna talk about that. So I think it's a great song. The choreography from the video, it's great. The girls look wonderful. It's a shame that was only sung by Nicole. I wish the other girls could have had more moments, not only in this song but in general in the group. But
Yeah.
for me, it's a banger. It's a great song. What do you think, Luquitas?
Oh yes, totally. And actually, I remember how I discovered that song in 2005. I was super into Media Base. That was a website that I mentioned here before, that listed every single song that had airplay on the radios.
Mhm.
So at the very beginning of 2005, there was a girl named Tori. Oh God, let me check because I have it here. Some Tori Alames. She
Okay.
recorded Doncha before the Pussycat Dolls, and
Mm,
Oh.
she had some airplay in US, a little bit. Like she was very low in the list, but I was listening everything. So I heard that version first, and I thought this is bad.
Mm.
And a few weeks later, it started growing in that list. Doncha by the Pussycat Dolls. I was like, what the fuck is the same song? In my mind was like something like a viral stuff like we had with Dragostea Te, Ozone, that a lot of
Mhm.
a lot of people were recording and releasing. So for me, it was like this must be a Eurodance thing. I don't know, but when I heard the Pussycat Dolls, I knew that, oh my god, it's another level. This is going to happen for sure. And I totally
Mhm.
forgot about the other version, and I fell in love with this song, especially when I saw the music video because the girls were looking stunning. And Nicole, to me, in that moment, before I saw Cassie, she was the most beautiful woman in the world. And I remember my friends telling me, "Have you ever seen the Pussycat Dolls?" And I was like, "Yes," and everyone was obsessed. So it's crazy. It's crazy how that girl group became like part of the 2000s so effectively. It was like for real. It's part of
Mhm.
the history of pop. I don't think I had that dimension of things in that way in that moment. It was hard even for me to see them as a girl group because when you compare it to the other Spice Girls and everything, was it was weird because we were only seeing Nicole singing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It was something that I thought that would be maybe just that, just Don't Chop in that moment. But we know
Yeah.
how many great songs we had
Yeah, they went
after that.
viral.
Yes, is really good. I love Don't Chop even now, and I prefer the dirty version as well.
Yeah, it's really good.
more
I once
more
actually
booty
dedicated that
version.
song. Yeah, I once dedicated that song to a guy I was into that had a girlfriend. We used to make out, but I was like, I wanna be your girlfriend. So I used to play that song a lot when he was around. So he knew that I
Yeah,
was trying to.
yeah.
Yeah.
A great use of
Okay,
the song.
Mao.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. You are totally right. It was also huge, the song. I remember hearing the song on the radio everywhere. I remember I didn't have a connection immediately with the Pussycat Dolls in that moment. I remember in 2008 when I was in my first year of college that I had a friend that liked different kind of music, but uh, weirdly she liked some pop stuff. She was really weird actually. She was like more rockabilly and a lot of stuff like that, like rock, but punk, but this kind of stuff. So
Mm,
she used to diss a lot pop music. Like she all the time she said something like Britney's Chad or something like that. But at the same time she liked it. So she was weird. She's still weird. Uh, anyway, she liked it so much Pussycat Dolls, and I remember it was in 2008, and I remember playing this song Donsha in that year. But I remember when the song was released in 2005, and I was like, okay, it's a very good combination between this kind of pop R&B and rap, with Busta Rhymes and stuff like that. So, but I had the connection with the song in 2008 because I remember I liked a guy,
Okay.
like from the group that was the boyfriend of one of the teachers. So the teacher was very old in that moment. In that moment, because he was like 40 or something. So he
Imagine
was,
now. Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. In that moment, for me, he was old, and I was with this in my head that don't you wish your boyfriend was hot like me, like because I'm younger, so I'm hotter.
ah,
So yeah, for me it was like this. So in that moment in 2008, I had the connection with the song. But in 2005, I remember hearing the song Buttons and Stick with You and everything, but not connecting in that moment. But anyway, it's a very good song, and it's a song that I actually have in my running playlist. So it's a song that I still like, and I never like so much Nicole. I never like so much like the whole idea of Pussycat Dolls, but this song is a banger, absolutely, and it's a song that was part, as Lucas said, of the story of 2050. So yes, they were iconic in that moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Listen
yeah.
to the original guy so you guys can hate it.
Yeah. Now I'm curious.
I'm
Yeah.
curious. I'm curious. We have comment from Adrian. He's ay, esta porquería de mouse. Sorry. Um, didn't they
What is
have
that?
a reality show? Yeah, I was looking for the new Pussycat Dolls member, Adri.
It is.
Joaquin says, I remember that in Chile, Doncha was released as a remix on the radio by Ralphie Rosario, and it was a huge hit on radio and in clubs, but in a dance version, which is better than the original. However,
Debatable.
when I saw the original version of the video, I didn't like it as much. Over time, my opinion changed, and I went to the store to buy the album. It was one of my favorites of the year. That's for sure, Joaquin. The whole album is amazing. I need to check
Yeah.
that remix that you are saying. I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
so Mao.
Okay, next song it's an R&B song. As I mentioned, in this year was the year when I was like very connected with R&B music. So I was like greedy to know more about R&B. Like I was like very anxious to know like, oh, I want to know more about R&B music, the story and Brandy, Tony Braxton, like this kind of stuff. And this song was so special in that moment because this song here had a lot of rotation and it was it was crazy, because it is here and in Latin America in general. So like R&B is like rare in some areas. But with this song that is Mary J. Blige, "Be Without You," it was like on the radio, the video, and everything. So I was like, oh, okay, this is the music that I like so much, and I connected so much with this side of the soul R&B music because I in that moment I can feel like, oh, I feel very connected with this passion inside of Mary J. Blige. Like she was singing with the heart. Like, and I was able to perceive that in that moment. So I was like, oh, okay, I can connect with this woman because this woman is singing her face up, like with all of her soul and the power of her voice. So for me, this song was so important, and this was, I think, the seed for me, like the roots to start loving R&B music and exploring R&B music so much. So I want to know if you knew about the song that moment, friends, started with my friend Lucky.
Yeah, I remember that song because I think it was released at the very end of 2005 because 2006, 2004 was the year that I got my computer. 2006, I had cable for the first time. So I was
Okay.
watching MTV Hits and VH1 all the time. And at the beginning of 2006, this music video was all the time on television. So I remember that, but I remember I didn't like to be honest because as you can imagine, it's truly R&B. Like it's a song for people who really appreciates that type of music.
And
And
it's
I
even adult for me, adult.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
of course. That
teenagers yet.
that's why it was on VH1. VH1 was more adult channel, and I remember seeing this on the top 20 and things like this. I didn't connect. Actually, I never really connect with Mary J. Blige. I don't know if it's because I'm a Christina fan, maybe, and she was always talking shit about Christina.
It's true.
But I think it's not a problem because I go more with the songs, but I never really connected. I kind of like it, Family Affair,
Yeah.
uh,
It's
but
more pop oriented.
it's more pop, and that's all for me. But of course, I can see the voice, I can hear the voice, I know how great of a singer she is, how much soul there is in her performances, and I think a song like that is perfect for a singer like her who sings with a lot of pain sometimes and a lot of passion and is like something visceral that came like from the inside. You can't deny that is something from the soul, is something genuine, like something real. But sometimes you just don't click, and for me is one of those cases that if I gotta list the quality, I can, but for me it doesn't make sense, to listen and keep on my playlist and things like this. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
great to know about the start of your R&B relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, mi Mario?
I knew Mary J. Blige because Family Affair is on my top five favorite songs. So I
Wow.
knew who she
Ooh,
was. Yeah, actually, it's my number four.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that song. But I didn't know about this song in particular until today, now that I listened to it and that I played the video. And it called my attention. Number one, that they always use Terrence Howard,
Terrence Howard, yeah.
Terrence Howard as the main character for many videos.
Ashanti.
Ashanti, now Mary J. I've seen him in other videos. I can't remember now one, but
Yeah.
another one. But anyway, and number two, the chorus, I have heard it before in another girl group called Booty Love.
Okay. I have to take the notes.
Yeah, cause I can see without you, baby. I know. It's the same. It's the same. Me Without You. Me Without You. I think it's the name of the song by Booty
By
Love.
Booty Love. Okay.
I will send it to you, Mao. I will send it
Please,
to you.
mi Mario.
Yeah. So I like the lyrics, of course. It's beautiful. Her voice is wonderful. I didn't know she had a beef with Christina Aguilera. This is my first time. I was today
Yeah.
years old when I found out about so I had
Yes.
no idea. But
If you watch the music, the video of the VMA performance with Madonna kissing, they were like really making footage of people who were related somehow to create like beef and those things. And Mary
okay.
J. Blige is all the time like this,
with
making.
this like
Yeah,
this.
it is because of Christina. Yes.
I need to watch it. I need to rewatch it because I was always thinking that they were more focused on Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, there's a whole
When
thing
Brit.
going on.
You can see Mary J. Blige behind Justin Timberlake actually making
Okay,
this
okay,
face like, oh, this
Everything was very
yeah,
prepared.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
okay,
And
okay. I have to pay attention.
Mary J. Blige face is like, oh, this is gross. Please, see, yeah.
I will watch it later. That's for sure. Okay, okay. But I like the song. It's not like my favorite because I've heard other songs by Mary J. Blige, but this one is not like wow. But it is pretty. It's a nice song. Thank you.
Okay. No, no, thank you, friends. And in defense of Christina, I have to say that Mary J. Blige was always rude. You know, in the interviews, I used to love her and admire so much, but with the time and a lot of interviews that I saw with her, she was very rude with the reporters, with other singers, you know, because she was very rude with Pink, for example. In one moment, Pink was like, "Oh, I admire you so much. Maybe can you collaborate with me someday?" And Mary J was like, "No, I don't want to." So it is rude, you know.
Oh, she's
So
difficult.
she's very difficult in the interviews. You can see that in an interview a reporter is asking her about like the music and the album, and she's like all the time with the same lame questions. I don't want to answer questions all the time.
Um,
So she was difficult and with no reason. There is no reason to be rude with people, you know.
no.
So now I can understand this with time because I used to love her so much, and now it's like, oh, okay, this woman is difficult.
I,
You can be very talented and everything, but I don't like this kind of attitude by
yeah,
singers.
I think with
Okay.
Christina, she tried a little bit of her own poison because we know that Christina. I love Christina, but Christina had her attitude as well, especially
Like
back
diva
then, the
attitude.
scripted moment. So I think she received a little bit of the same poison, and she wasn't happy about it. And
Because
another things that I don't want to go in details now that cross my mind.
but let us know from because I remember that interview when Mary J. Blige says comparing like Britney to Christina, and she says something like Britney is very sweet and very cool, and Christina is very diva attitude because I was saying hi to Christina. Mary J. Blige, what Mary
Yeah.
J. Blige talking, you know, and she was like, I was saying hello to Christina, and Christina put her hand like this.
To
So
kiss.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, to
I
kiss like
I think that
hello.
the other thing for me is about the voice. I think
Mm,
Mary J. Blige
agree.
could stand seeing a girl like Christina being
A
very
white girl,
praised,
yeah.
a white girl as Christina and
Like,
young, and starting a career singing things like Whitney, and that everyone knows that there was a moment where Whitney Houston um saw Christina singing to her "I Run to You," and "I Run to You," right? And she said, "This is the best version that I've heard besides me." And actually, Christina is one of the new girls that I can actually listen. So I think to Mary J. Blige was kind of jealous of things like that.
yeah,
She
Yeah.
and
thinks
actually, Mary J. Blige was there behind of
was
Christina.
there. Was she was
Yeah,
there exactly. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
agree.
Okay, Luquitas. Now it's time for your last song.
Yes, I don't have the CD now, and I don't know
Mhm.
if I know how to pronounce the name of the girl. So if I say it wrong, Mao, you're gonna be the one to correct me. But I think it's Tiara Mary.
Yeah, I have the CD.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Cara
Yeah,
Marie. Yeah.
because if we put in perspective our roles here, that would be probably more of a Mao song. But I had
yeah.
a very hip hop moment in 2005 because it was very mainstream. And I always went more to the girl side, especially girls with attitude. So in that moment, I was listening too much to Brooke Valentine and this girl and Mashonda, that is another girl in hip hop. I love it. And this song was like kind of the jam for me and my friend Evandro.
Mhm.
We love it, songs like that, and we love to dance like this. Sorry for the cultural appropriation, but yes, we were like that all the time. And this song in particular, I love the beat because it's heavy, but her voice is sweet, so I think it's a great blend. But what really got my attention was the music video because in the song she's singing like I had no daddy around when I was grown up, so like I excuse of her bad behavior. And in the music video at the beginning she punches the guy in the face, the boyfriend of the mom.
Mhm.
So in that moment, anything that was kind of an attitude in music video for me was like
Wow.
wow, you know,
It's
Kelly
a
Clarkson breaking the whole apartment, and the Veronicas chasing guys and girls breaking mirrors all the time. I was like, that was my life, you know? So to see something kind of shocking in a music video made me love that song even more. That's why I love this. I still listen. And every time I listen to that, I gotta listen to Girl Fight by Brooke Valentine. That
it's yeah,
is, no, kind of similar, the vibe, you know?
very true.
So since it's more obvious, let's start with Mao.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Surprise, surprise, because I didn't know about the song in that year. This song was never released in Colombia, never saw the video. I knew about Tiara Marie after years or years when I started like listening R&B music and in all the singers and this girl came out, but it was not in that moment. I don't know if you know the story behind it, but everything in I think it's Rockefeller Nation or something like that. Like yes, Rockefeller Records. Like was about Tierra Marie in that moment, but when they sang Rihanna, everything changed and
Yeah.
Tiara was the queen and everything was for Tiara. But in the moment that Rihanna came, like everything changed and everything was for Rihanna. You know, even when
Exactly.
Tiara had a better voice, have a better for me had a more like powerful. I don't know, like behind her. For me, the image is in that moment was stronger in comparison to Rihanna. But everything changed. So there is a lot of videos talking about it. Like she was like displaced
Yeah. We
by
talking
Rihanna.
about it once. A lot of
So
girls lose it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So poor Tiara because I think she is very like she had like everything. You know, like the attitude and everything. So very Ciara or not or the other girls Cassie. So, talking about the song, I really like the song. Of course, it's an R&B song. I was listening today, and it's not a song that I listen so much, but I was enjoying so much watching the video because the video maybe I saw the video back in the day a lot, but it's not a video that I watch often, you know. So for me, it was like, oh, this video is cool. This video is cool. My
Yeah.
favorite is making you feel good or make you feel good or something like
Make her
that.
feel
But
good. Is the previous
yeah,
single? Yes.
yes, but No Daddy is with no doubt one of the most amazing songs from that time that with R&B girls, and I like because in that moment the vibe, like the beats behind the R&B songs were a lot hip hop. So this is like a hip hop beat
Yeah.
with R&B voice, very soft but with the attitude, you know. So yeah, and she's stunning. I was watching the video and the eyes because she has like a green eyes. So wow, I was like, oh, this girl was beautiful. This girl had everything. So it's a shame. She never took off so much. So, but yes,
Yeah. That makes me think that I don't want to discredit Rihanna, but I think any girl that they decided that was going to be the it girl would be the it girl, you know? Because they
yeah,
pretty much chose Rihanna. Like, okay, you're gonna be the A list again. Now we have Umbrella, and that could be with any of them. You know,
exactly.
so I
Because
don't know.
put Tiara with Umbrella, it's gonna be a hit. because the song is a hit.
Amerie,
Yeah.
Christina
Yes.
Milian, all the girls that were
Yeah.
shut down for Rihanna. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. What
Absolutely.
about you, Marielle?
It's funny that you mentioned that you had a hip hop moment in 2005 because I did too. I
Oh,
was obsessed. Yeah, I was obsessed with this movie called Honey with Jessica Alba.
yeah.
And since they play a lot of hip hop music and she dances to it a lot, I was obsessed. I wanted to dance like her. So I downloaded a lot of songs and I made my own CD
Play.
with hip hop songs, and I would
Yeah.
play that CD all the time because I wanted to dance like Jessica did in this movie. Never did that, but because I'm not a good dancer. But I do remember I had a moment with hip hop, and that song was included in that
Ooh,
album. So yes,
awesome.
now that when you mentioned that song, I was like, oh my god, it brought me back to that city that I must have somewhere over there in
Yeah,
my
unlocked memory.
storage. Yeah, unlocked memory, and I love it. I love it. It's really sassy. It is
Hmm.
sassy, and the video is super sassy and very. I'm the badass girl here, so because I had no daddy, so I had my daddy issues, and because of that, I'm a rebel. But
Yeah.
it's a really cool song. Thank you for unlocking that memory, Luquitas.
Oh, you're welcome. And I think we can all agree that it's kind of pop, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
There's something really pop there.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And it's very similar to Brooke Valentine's Girl Fire.
Girl
Girl,
fight. Yes. And
yes,
I
it's,
love both. I love both.
yeah.
Okay, moving on. I'm gonna talk about my queen, Miss Mariah Carey, and her "We Belong Together" that was released 20 years ago. I can't believe it. Um, I didn't know the song until 2006 because I wasn't paying too much attention to Mariah Carey back then. Until 2006, that I got to listen to "It's Like That." Yes, and then I decided to listen to the whole album. And 2006 for me was um, very intense year when it comes to love because I was completely and utterly in love with a 30-year-old when I was 17. So for
Oh,
me,
that song of Mandy Moore was your team, 17.
Yeah.
yes, yes, that's for sure. And so for me, this song is very special because it brings me back to that time when, sorry, I was dating this guy that I was so crazy about, and he later broke my heart, and I was so sad, but I was always thinking we belong together and stuff like that. Nowadays, I think about him and he's like, You're an asshole," but back then, I was very sad and always thought we belong together. That's our song. Nowadays, it's different, but I think it's a song that uh, brought Mariah Carey back to the scene because of
Oh,
her latest two albums were not so popular. Both Charm Bracelet and Glitter didn't do so well, and she was having this breakdown and stuff. And she came back and rise like a phoenix, and showed us how powerful she really is with this beautiful and wonderful ballad. So the video is also great. I think it has a nice story of how she at the end runs out with the other guy, leaving the other at the altar. It's really passionate. I love it. So for me, it's a great song, and I want to ask now, Luquitas, your thoughts.
yeah. I think that song pretty much defined 2005. I think was the number one song of the year, like 14 weeks at number one on Billboard. That was like crazy. I was super into Mariah in that moment. It's like that was like everything to me. I think I mentioned the first time I went to a club and they played It's Like That. I remember the bass like beating, a lot of things like it's crazy when because we manifest things and we have no idea. So seeing the
Hmm.
DJs playing and thinking I want to do this. So those moments when we are teenagers, are not like meaningless. Like we have no idea, but that built us in a way. So with We Belong Together, I fell in love right away with the song. Actually, I think it's something that I never told anyone, but I used to pretend to play in my room that I had a TV show with the top 10 on Billboard.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I used to download every single music video because YouTube was not a thing yet. Was close to be, but was not a thing yet. So I had to download. So I used to download all the music videos on the top 10 and pretend that I had the show. So every single song that was on top 10, I was weekly watching while I was pretending to be the TV host, you know? So I had
Oh,
weeks and weeks and weeks of watching We Belong Together. So because the song was there for forever, like 14
uh,
weeks at number one,
yes.
can you imagine on the top 10? I think was a lot of weeks. So it was pretty much part of my 2005 for sure. I love it. Yes.
Oh, beautiful. You, Mimau?
Wow, a lot of things to say. Now I want to say that, friend, now that you mentioned that YouTube was not a thing in that moment, I felt like, oh, it's crazy that we live that time when YouTube
Mhm.
was nothing and we had to download the videos because I remember now another unlocked memory. I remember it was my mom that told me like, oh, there is like a new page that is called YouTube for videos. I remember it was my
Mm-hmm.
mom. So it's crazy to think, like in this moment we didn't have YouTube to watch the videos, and it was so difficult sometimes, like in the TV. But when you were trying to watch the videos online, it was like impossible, like downloading very, very, very
It took
like
forever.
yeah,
Wow.
forever. Yes, so I was thinking that okay, it's crazy.
Virals
Uh,
all the time.
yes, exactly. Anyway, talking about this song, this was the moment when I start loving Mariah Carey. I never consider myself a lamb because I don't like
Same.
being a
Mhm.
lamb, the lamb thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a lamb. I'm a lamb in a way, and Mariel
Mm-hmm.
is a lamb. So
I am.
so yeah. So talking about it, in this year with this song, I started being a lamb in a way because of course I knew Mariah Carey from the 90s because of my cousin because she used to love her and Hero and these songs were like popular, but till 2005, I started my interest about Mariah Carey. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, and I remember this moment, like I was like typing Mariah Carey, and this song was the first because it was released in that year, like it was brand new the song, and I played, and immediately I was in love with We Belong Together. I played all the time, all the time, all the time. For me, it was so special, and in this moment, I started being like a lamb, like being a fan of Mariah Carey till
Mm-hmm.
now. So yeah, this song was special in that moment. It's funny because this song was not in the radio, was not in the musical channels, but was number one everywhere and number. It was not number one here in Colombia, but number one in my house also, and everywhere like around the
Yeah,
world.
this is special. Yes.
So yeah, it was funny because the song was not. I don't remember listening to the song on the radio, neither on the TV channels, but the song was all the time. I was listening to the song all the time. So because I knew in that moment that the song was huge in US and in other countries. For me, it's crazy that the song was never released here. It's crazy. I never listened to the song on the radio. Never, never.
But you
Crazy.
are the perfect example that she could, with this album, introduce herself to a new generation.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
friend. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. The perfect comeback.
yeah. And the remix, fire. I just gotta
Oh,
say,
Ah,
yeah. The
I
remix is
love.
like,
great.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, what is your last song, Mimau?
Well, I wanted to include something in Spanish, and I was thinking like because at first I included other song that was important for me and for my country actually, but this song was not. It was released in 2005, but at the same time it was released in 2006, so it was crazy. So my Lucky was like, okay, you have to change it. So I was like, okay. And this song came. This song was released like in November of 2005. So I was like, oh, this song is perfect because this song was like a definition on another like moment of my life. Is Rosa Pastel by Belanova, a Mexican group. This I never liked Belanova in that moment because I remember they released Cada Que, I think, and another song, and till that moment I was not so crazy about Belanova. I was like, okay. And in 2006, this guy started in my school, and I had this huge crush on this guy. So this song was for me like okay, there is a part that she said something that I want the wife or something. I want the mother of your kids, and I was feeling that way, like oh, okay, it's something that destroys Ivan's son, like I want to be a woman, I want to be your woman, like for us
Mhm.
it was like that, gay people can understand what I'm saying, like it was for us like oh this straight guy that I had a crush on him, but he never liked me because I'm a man, so I want to be a woman, I want to be like your wife, I want to be the mother of your kids. So for me this song was like that in that moment.
Mhm.
And crazy thing, this guy was he considered that this girl from Villanova was sexy. He all the time he was saying like, oh, this girl is sexy by Villanova. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to be that
Mariel's
girl.
face.
Yes, I want to be that girl from Villanova because he
Okay.
likes that girl. He likes that girl because all the time he was saying that. So it was funny. Everything, like connects in a way. So I want to know your opinions, starting with Mariel, that I know that song was released in Mexico. And
Just let me
I asked
say, friend, I wasn't laughing of you, okay? Is Adrian saying shit in the comments in Mariel's faces that made me laugh. I totally respect your story.
Okay. Yeah, Belanova. It's a really popular group here in Mexico, and actually one that I actually like. So, because I'm not so much into several Mexican acts from the 2003, 2006. Um, but Belanova, I did like them. I knew them from the beginning when they released Tus Ojos. And this song was really, 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 really popular. The video doesn't show Denise's face. I don't know why your friend thought she was cool and sexy, but she's always like hiding. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Malinchista, mi Mariel. No, I'm not. I'm not malinchista. I just didn't click with other groups. But Belanova is actually a group that I really like. And Rosa Pastel is a fun song. It's all about, I always thought I was going to be the mother of your kids and that we will be walking through the aisle until the dead do us part and stuff like that. And then it changes. So it's a very fun song for me. I I still like them to this day. I don't agree with your friend of her being sexy, not at all. But she's a nice person, that's for sure.
okay, okay. That's cool that she's a nice person. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she
Actually,
is.
he was not really my friend. I think right
Uh,
now I don't have any connection with him, but it's funny. He was like my crush.
okay,
So
okay. Yeah,
please,
she's
Mariel, explain to Lucas what is malinchista because I'm sure that he doesn't know about
oh,
the
a
group.
Yeah, but I
malinchista.
imagine it's someone who doesn't like things from your own country or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Okay,
Something
got
like
it.
that.
that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
But
that's it.
La Malinche was like enemy. Like yes, like
Yeah, it was an
was from
Indian girl.
Mexico. Yes,
She was an indigenous girl
yeah,
who preferred to hang out with the Spanish
yeah.
Okay, got it.
instead of
Hmm.
her and
But,
instead
yeah.
of her own race. So that's why her name was Malinche. So that's why they call us Malinchistas if you don't like something from your own country. It's referring to this girl Malinche.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
The story, I had no
Yes.
idea. I just got the word in the context in general, but
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
good
And
to know.
yes,
Like
Adrian.
traitor. That like a
Like a
traidor.
traitor. Yes, and yes, Adrian, you are right. Talia sings about her in Arrasando. Yes.
Okay, nice. I will
What
never know.
about, what about you, friend?
Well, I thought I didn't know the song, but when I
But
played
you,
the video, I
yeah,
remember. Yes, but I'm kind of confusing because I think that was also on VH1 in 2006. Now
maybe
that you mention that was released at the end of 2005, because when I played the video, I was like, I saw this before, and the VH1 came to my mind, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I checked my last FM and I had one Scrabble by it in 2021. I don't know why. But it's like some names that was always around for me and I never pay attention, like
Mm,
Belanova, Miranda, I think.
from
Miranda.
Bands from the 2000s from
Yeah.
Latin music, but I never pay attention. So the music video is kind of very similar to the Brazilian music videos we had in that moment with some bands and artists.
Hmm.
Is I think it was something in the Latin part very similar going on, because in the 2000s were like a weird moment in music that we didn't have pop, and
no
the
pop.
rock stuff was kind of pop, so everything was kind of similar, I think. In general, I didn't love the song, I gotta be honest. I didn't connect it much, but it's a type of band that maybe if I check the whole thing, I'm gonna find something that I like, because
Ah.
I can see things that are similar to my taste in music, right?
Yeah,
You guys
I'm
that
gonna
know
send
more.
you some. I'm gonna send you some Luquitas that I think you are gonna like.
yeah,
Okay, please do,
yeah.
because I want to dig in more in this Latin stuff in a moment. Right now, I'm in Austria, but I will
Okay.
get there. Yes.
Still,
Okay. Perfect. So, well, that was it. About our special 2005 was 20 years ago. Um, if we have a quick moment about our
items.
items, yes, can we please show?
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
have um, Mariah Carey's Here I Want to Share Today, this album that I love
Okay.
so much, The Emancipation of Mimi. I love this version that it has like four more songs from the original. And I love it so much. So this is the item of the week.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to reply, Joaquin said that I like it. Bellanova's song that they did for High School Musical in the Latin market. Yes, he shared with me one of those days, and I like it. Well,
Oh.
I don't have anything new in my collection yet, so I'm bringing something from 2005. This is Lia,
Mm.
Brazilian singer that I mentioned here before. This is the second album, and I decided to show this today because I didn't talk about any Brazilian song, and this was my favorite Brazilian album in 2005. Like the first album of her is very pop, kind of Sandy
Mm.
Junior, and in this one she went more to the pop rock direction that was like the thing in 2005. So for me, it was like the best of both worlds. A singer that I already love, singing the type of music that I love. So if anyone wants to check some pop rock from 2005 in Brazil, it's Perdas e Ganhos by Lia. Is
Okay.
this?
Okay. Perfect. What about you, Mousy Mumu?
Well, actually, I have the three CDs where the one of the songs selected by the three of us. So I have like Mary J. Blige, that was the song that I selected, "Be Without You" is
Yeah.
on it. So yes, I wanted to share with you. This is, I think, my favorite Mary J. Blige album. I love it. The Emancipation of Mimi, the same edition that Mariel shared with us. We belong
Yay!
together. Yeah, I love that version too, me Mariel, because it's very beautiful. The cover,
I love it.
it's more golden. I think
Yeah.
yeah,
Shining.
it's shining. She looks
Yeah.
stunning. And I have Tiara Marie. Uh, no, no, okay, no daddy,
No
no, no
Daddy.
daddy. know that is here. So yes, the three selection I have today, and I want to share something that I didn't share, and I was about to share previously. It is the
Oh,
magazines.
Adrian is asking for that. Yes.
Adri, yeah, Adri.
Uh,
The CCM magazine, Station
Yes, yes,
Rico.
yes.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico was the cover of
that's
the two.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Adrian,
yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta find another one.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. Love it. Thank you, Adri.
Awesome.
The like I always wanted, like when I remember back in the day when I saw these magazines online, I was like, oh, how can I get these magazines for us? For me, it was impossible here in Colombia, but right now, thank you, Adri, because I have it because of you. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Just,
Uh,
just go with your obsession, and we did backwards.
Okay, and my obsession of the week. On I don't have it right now, but go ahead, friend, if you have it, or me, Mariel, if you have it. Let me think.
Marielle, you have it?
okay. Yes. I'm sorry. Today. I'm currently obsessed with Megan Trainor's Me Too. So that's my obsession of the week. I've been listening to that song and it always puts me in a good mood. Dun, 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 from the beginning. So it's a really cool and fun song. That's my obsession.
It's really fun.
What about you,
Well,
Wiki?
my obsession right now is the singer Renee Rapp. She's someone I've known for a while because she played Regina George in the Mean Girls musical on Broadway and also the movie
Hmm.
musical version, of course. And some songs of her never clicked with me, but now she's releasing a new album in August called Bite Me. So the cover and the title got my attention, and I listened to the first single, Leave Me Alone, and I got, I don't know. I saying that I'm obsessed by her is like little because it's too much. I'm listening to that song 7 times a day, and now she released the second single, Mad. I love it even more. So right now my YouTube is only showing me stuff by her. So I've been watching 3,000 interviews by her every single day. And I discovered that she's part of a Max show called The Sex Life of the College Girls. So I'm watching that show too.
Oh,
So
okay.
pretty much I'm crazy about this woman right now, Rainy Rap. And I can't wait for the album. She's my obsession. A real,
Okay.
a real obsession.
She,
Yes.
she has a wonderful voice.
Yeah. And she
It,
has a song with
uh,
Coco Jones.
yes, and actually, her voice is very soulful.
It is.
It
And I
is. It
love her
is.
personality. Yes, everything. I'm crazy about her right now.
Yeah, yeah.
What
Yes,
about you, Mau?
right now I know. This is because of you, actually, mi Mariel. Since this episode we decided to explore our last FMs, I was obsessed with Shy by Third Face.
Yay!
Says yes, it's a very cool song, very bubblegum pop, the things that we like, and yes, it defines like 2001. It screams 2001. So it's a song that I
Uh,
really like. So yes, it's right now part of my playlist actually to run because
love
it's
it.
like the perfect song to run. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, perfect. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, so that was it for today. We hope to see you next week. Thank you, Adrian and Joaquin, for being here today with us and for that extra watcher we had. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
uh, and well, if you're watching this on the rerun, thank you. Thank you for being here with us. You guys know we love you. Anything else you want to add, Luquitas and Mau?
No, I want to say thank you again. Thank you, Joaquin, Adrian. It was very fun, very nostalgic, and I'm very curious about the next one because I don't have to choose.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. That's for sure. I guarantee.
Okay, okay. Besitos, Adrian. Besitos para ti,
Besitos,
muchacho.
Adrián. We love you. We love you, Adri Bombón. I want you in my colchón. Yes.
Thank you, friends. As always, always is a pleasure. Always is a pleasure to see how connect we are since uh, since like we were born. Like even without knowing each other, we were connected in a different dimension. So for me, it's like that.
Yes.
Like I had a connection with you even in that moment. So, but in that moment, I didn't know. But right now, it's a pleasure to have you and to have you as my friend. So thank you so much. It
No.
is amazing
Mm.
for me to share this with you right now because in that moment was impossible to share it with anybody. So it's amazing to have this freedom right now to say, for example, okay, in that moment I had
I'm
crush
gonna
on.
cry. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, friends. Love you. Love the audience. Love Adri. As always, love Joaquin. Love everybody watching. Our friends all the time. Ruan, Norman. I've been
Francesca.
actually texting with Norman, Francesca. I've been texting with Norman this week because I want to send some CDs because I know for him it's very difficult to have CDs in Belize. So yes, thank you always for being here, friends. Love you.
Yes. We love you, everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.